The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited for today's episode. I've been sitting on this one for a minute. I had the opportunity to talk to Little Matt from the band Yes Ma'am. Yes Ma'am's record, How Many People, How Many Dogs, was a favorite of mine of 2024. And I was happy that we made this happen. Stick around to the end to hear a song off of that album. This is episode 330 of the Struggling Artist Podcast, Struggling with Yes Ma'am. Man, I'm pumped for this episode. Like, you guys were like my best discovery of 2024. Like,
hell yeah,
yeah. And it's funny because like I hate social media, but like I discover a lot of music through like Instagram, and I must have been Flail had something up about you guys, and I went and checked your stuff out, and like immediately I immediately bought all the digital stuff, and then I went to Flail, got How Many People, How Many Dogs, and I was just running with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is good stuff. Like, you know.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, man. So, all right, so you're in South Carolina right now, or do you live there, or?
I don't really live anywhere. Just because I'm on tour so much.
Yeah.
I am in South Carolina right now. I'm in Columbia. That's like where I was born. So I was born here in Columbia, South Carolina. But yeah, basically just live in my truck. Or crashing with family and stuff when I'm not on tour here.
Mm-hmm. What's the New Orleans link to you?
That's like where we started the band, and like that's when I just started playing music. Like I went there when I was really, really young. I was like first started traveling. I went through there, and then we like formed the band there, and I lived there for like almost 10 years or so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then when COVID happened, that's like when I left basically because I was like, if the end of the world's coming, I'm not going to be in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Mayhem, you know?
You got that wanderer in you too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just constantly traveling. I mean, it's like it's addicting. I can't stop. But
I always had the wandering bug in me, and like I wasn't like in a band. I don't play music or anything like that, but like I always found myself in jobs where I could like go places, you know, and like I had a business for about 12 years, and I ended up it brought me, you know, I went to Tennessee for another thing, but then I ended up from there I went to like Pittsburgh, but I was traveling all over the country for this like contract that I had, and I was like, this is like, you know, same thing. I wasn't even going to get a place in Pittsburgh because I was going to be traveling so much, you know, but I'm glad I did, because while I was there is when COVID happened, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I got to be somewhere. And the work slowed down, you know.
Right.
So I was like, God damn, you know.
So you're in Pittsburgh now?
No, I'm in Massachusetts. So I grew up in like Rhode Island. And then I just couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there, you know? So I left there a bunch of times, came back, went to Massachusetts in 2012. And basically, like, this has been kind of home base ever since. Like, I left for a few years, you know, but came back to Massachusetts. So this is where I am, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny because, you know, you got the nickname Little Matt. I actually met a Little Matt when I was in New Orleans.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This was 2001. This is a long time ago. He was roommates with a buddy of mine that I went to school with because they were going to school together at the time. I think they were both done. Like, they both like kind of dropped by then, but, yeah, so when I went out there, I met that's what. So when I first heard like your name was that, I'm like, I got to see if this is the same guy. I don't think you're the same person, but unless you lived on Spain Street, you know what I mean. So
yeah, I lived on Spain Street.
Oh man, yeah. Did you have a roommate named Justin?
No.
Justin Barrows? No.
Damn, that's fucking weird though.
Yeah. Because Little Matt had a little truck. He had a little truck, and he came and picked us up one night. He rescued us on it was like St. Patrick's Day weekend when we were there. And,
wait, what's his name?
It's Justin. They used to call him. They used to call him Boy. They just called him Boy.
But, yeah, no, I don't think so.
I
would be surprised if I didn't remember that, but
yeah, no doubt.
Sure I didn't. Yeah.
That's a weird. You know, there was another dude that lived there named Scott with a K. Yeah. So that's just a weird little degree of separation, though. You know.
Yeah, Little Matt on Spain Street, who also drives a truck.
Yeah.
Could have been me, dude.
I think he was from like the Baton Rouge area originally.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that was. Yeah. So when I first I was like, "Is this no way?" I was like, "This would be the weirdest coincidence ever." You know what I mean? So, yeah. So like I said, I discovered your music and like it's probably. I mean, it's probably one of the most original sounding like albums I've ever heard. It's, you know, you got this like dirty blues, like especially like the latest album, I call it like it's like sinister, like, you know what I mean? Like there's mischief going on. You can kind of tell.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's funny. It's funny you said that because I remember seeing the clip of you saying that, and I actually can't remember who I was with, but they were like, "Damn, that's like the best way to describe it." Like he fucking nailed it. I was like,
yeah, because like there's like, you know, especially with Flail has a particular flavor that they go for, you know, with a couple different things, but like it wasn't like an evil like kind of thing, and it wasn't like it was dark, but like it was more in like a mischief kind of sinister way, and I feel like that's been like that. I mean, for you know. That's pretty much been me my entire life, kind of like mischievous and like, you know what I mean? Just like, kind of like, just going my own path, you know what I mean? And doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And, from the moment the intro starts, you know, and like, I hear the, you know, I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm actually in the room where we recorded that intro.
In the, right now?
Yeah. This is
like
no
shit.
Apartment this is the person that's on the phone. Alan Lydia.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's actually they go by Little Matt as well. So.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. It's wild, man. Because like one thing in music today, like you don't get a lot of those like bits anymore. You know.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like I know at least 3 of your albums have some kind of a bit in it, right? So
it's way more fun doing that than playing music. My whole life's a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. When did you like decide that music was like your thing? Like you were gonna do this and just take it and run with it?
I mean, it was just kind of like I left home when I was like 16 or something. It was just like hitchhiking, riding trains and stuff, and it was basically like. It just became a point, like a means, like a way to make money or whatever. It was just like busking on the street so I could like keep traveling. And then I did that for years and years and years. And then finally like settled down in New Orleans and we're like starting to actually like make good money. And like that's where the band formed. And I was like, oh shit, like we can actually pay rent. We should probably like live somewhere, you know? So and we ended up, then like, I met like all the original band members down there. And, the busking just kind of, like, turned it into, like, that was our job, you know?
Yeah, because I've seen videos of you guys, like, out. It looks like right on Bourbon Street playing, right?
Yeah, mostly on, like, Royal.
No.
I mean, all over the French Quarter, but yeah, they like shut down part of Royal Street, so it's like a pedestrian mall. So like bands can just set up in the street because there's no like car traffic or anything. So but it's like it's one street like parallel to Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
So
I remember when I was there, I saw some of the coolest things. Like there was a guy, he had like this guy had like marionettes and he had like a car stereo system hooked to a skateboard, and they were like playing, like the marionettes were like doing like a blues show, you know what I mean?
hell yeah, yeah, you'll see some fucking crazy shit down there for sure.
Yeah,
I like on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's just yeah. So I mean, so you travel quite a bit. Like, where do you like what do you have places that kind of draw you more than other places, or?
You mean like favorite cities or?
Yeah, favorite cities or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean dude. It's honestly like I even think Kansas is pretty. You know, like I just like traveling, but it's mostly it all has to do with the weather. Like I haven't seen snow in like 8 years, so it's like I like the north when in the summer. I like this, or yeah, in the south in the winter. So it's like if you like all my tours is constantly just like. It's not necessarily because I want to go to these places. It's just because like I live in a truck, so it's like it revolves around the weather basically. But yeah, I mean like Portland, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, New Orleans, St. Louis, Minneapolis, New York City. Those are my big. Those are.
Have you come up to New England, like Boston, like Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire?
I've played a bunch. Well, I've done. We played a bunch in Maine. I haven't. Like I've done lots of like busking traveling tours through those places, but like we played Maine a couple of times, but I don't think I've ever even played music in Massachusetts ever.
Yeah.
I've driven through it a bunch, but yeah, I mean I've got homies in Boston and stuff like that, so I want to check it out at some point. But
yeah, you got to let me know if you do, dude. I'll, I got a couch, I got a dog. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Wheelhouse, right?
Bring all those things.
No doubt, man. It's just like your music. Have you always played this style of music? And like, and I asked that because like you definitely have like punk ethos in there, right? I can definitely hear like the punk rock style. That's the thing. I think people in the general population don't understand how wide the net is for like punk rock. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. I
have a record club that's primarily like it's punk rock and punk rock adjacent, and I can get really weird with the adjacent part because like things, due to degrees of separation or whatever, like I can make it happen. So I'm always trying to let people hear different things, like not just like your normal street punk or your pop punk or anything like that,
Yeah, no, totally. I think it's like it's one of those things like with people are just like. And don't you ever call like grindcore or death metal in front of like a grindcore person or something, But like to me, like all that shit is punk. Like metal is punk. Like the old timey shit that we play, and, like, the whole folk punk scene, like all that. It's like to me, yeah, I just like I get subgenres, and like I do. It does kind of bother me when people get it wrong, But at the same time, like, dude, it's all just fucking punk, whatever.
Yeah, I'm always like it's just all rock and roll, It's just like it all came from Robert Johnson.
The true legends.
Yeah, so it's like, so I try not to pigeonhole anybody so much, but like, so like, were you always playing like this style though? Like, is this where you kicked it off?
I started out doing like punk bands, like kind of like street punk, when I was younger. And I played in a couple different like pop punk bands and some metal bands here and there, but yeah, I mean, Yes Ma'am's been a thing since I was like 17.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's been
like 16, 17 years or something of just doing Yes Ma'am, and it's such like a rotating cast of people. So it's like we had like a pretty standard, like 6 members that were in the band when I was living in New Orleans for like 10 years. And now these days it's just kind of like a lot of the people I play with are in other bands, so it just like depends on their schedules. But so I also like to have every tour be kind of different because like. No one wants to hang out with me for that long, and I don't want to hang out with them for that long. So it's like,
yeah, no doubt.
It keeps it fun and interesting. Like I definitely have like my set members that are like if they're available, like I ask them to come, but they're always like Holy Locust and Bridge City Sinners and like lots of bands that have like our staple members, but they're so busy all the time. So it's like basically whoever wants to live in my moldy truck for a couple months.
Yeah. Do you get to Do you get out there and do solo stuff too?
Yeah, I've actually in the past couple of years I've been doing more of that, just because of like just having a truck. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's I can only bring like maybe 2 people tops, and like so it's. And I really enjoy traveling alone. I mean, it definitely sounds better in touring. It's more fun with the band, but I do a lot of solo tours too.
Yeah, right on. So so it's like Yes Ma'am is like the project, right? And like you're like the focal point of the project, and then people file in when they can, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we got there's a band out here that's they're more into Boston. I'm like in Worcester, the area, like so,
Okay.
but like the band, you see the Coffin Salesman, the one behind me, like their project's kind of like that, like where it's like Arya is like the focal point, and then he's got a full band, but like not everybody can get together. So sometimes it's just him. Sometimes he does this thing called the Gloom Trio, which is like the bass player plays sax, and they have a clarinet player in the band. She rips, by the way. Like, oh yeah. So like, but they do their thing, and like that's kind of how it is. Like it's Coffin Salesman's the project, and then when they play shows, depending on what album it is, they'll have different people in there. So I like that. I'm constantly listening to new sounds and like sounds that you don't particularly hear in like regular mainstream music. And I did you have like a Spoons player in Runaway?
That was
Was there like a Spoons?
It was a washboard.
Washboard?
But he like had all these like attachments to it that sounds like spoons.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
remember what they're called, but they're like
Yeah, it was
it's
wild.
It's like this little attachment he had. That's actually Sean DeMario, who used to play in Tejon Street Corner Thieves. He was playing washboard on that album.
Oh, nice. When you write these songs, like, do you think of all these different sounds? Are these all going through your head?
No, dude, it's me playing 3-chord songs, and then I'm just like, everybody go for it. So like, really, they're the ones that are making it sound,
Yeah.
like all the melodies and stuff. Like, yeah, those little taps he's doing, and like the fiddle leads and the banjos and all that. Like, basically, I just have like a super simple, scratched out version of a song, and I'm like, everybody just feel it out. So like, I don't write the melodies or anything like that. But if you stripped it down and it was just me and a guitar, it's like. It's kind of like, man, you need to put that band back on stage. Like they're the ones that really like, make it sound full. And
so is it? Do you with that, because like you said, you're not always together with everybody. When you write a new song, like, do you send it to them so they can feel it out, or do you like just start playing and they just kind of ad lib to along and then it makes something?
I think honestly in 17 years I probably had like 3 band practices.
Yeah. So that's chemistry, though. That's awesome.
So simple. They're like 3 chords, so it's like usually it's just like I'm just like, hey, this one's in G, and they're like actual musicians like who do practice. Like I don't, but like so they could just like kind of hop on and do it. And like a lot of times, like we just recently went on tour, and I was playing on tour with Ponch Bueller, and they were trying to figure out the songs. And they like really wanted to practice, but I just like for whatever reason I just fucking hate doing it. So it's like, and I was just like, dude, they're so easy. Like just play whatever you want and fucking make it weird and just
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's good chemistry, right? Like, and it seems like you can kind of fit with anybody if they can just, you know what I mean? If they can just kind of follow the lead and just go with it,
Yeah, everybody's also like so intertwined. Like anybody that I would be touring with, I've probably been playing music with off and on for like a decade. So
right on, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I remember this one, or like so. Fuck practice, dude. Yeah.
Just let the music feel through you, right? Just So you have this like you definitely like in that it's like that old blues sound. Was this music like? Did you grow up listening to this music, or did you just decide like, hey, I like this, we're gonna run with it, or?
I really didn't. And it was like something that like I had heard like in passing, like old like Robert Johnson's that style of blues, like by far the biggest inspiration or whatever you want to call it. Like that's the sound. Like I remember the first time I really heard it, and like my friend basically like just gave me a fucking giant file of like old fucking blues, and But I mean, even before that, like I was playing like somewhat country stuff, but like it always had this like bluesy soul thing. Like it just like so happens that like Modest Mouse is like a huge influence to me, which is not an answer you would have assumed. But like,
yeah.
I just like, but the vocals and stuff, yeah, I feel like it's like a mixture of like old blues with like Modest Mouse, like
Yeah, it definitely has like there's some country twang in there. It's just a lot of different. It's funny because like I'm always telling people like I used to be like, oh, I hate country music, but like if you look hard enough, you will find something. You will find something, and like I've found quite a bit over the years, and like so like whenever someone's like, I don't like that kind of music, I'm like, you're just being lazy, you know?
Yeah, it's just like just don't listen to the radio. And
Yeah, that's it. That's all they're using it on. Like it's like it's the same thing with like people like there's no more good blah 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 whatever genre. I'm like, you're just not looking. Like and that's the beauty of what I do. Like I love searching and finding this stuff to share it with people, you know? So when we like you guys were mentioned twice. Yes Ma'am was mentioned on like we had an episode of the turntable where every month we have like an X Factor where someone picks like, all right, you got to look for a band that has something like this. And it was Dogs. And I was like, I couldn't find one. And then I was listening to that album while I was looking. And I'm like, wait, this album is it. Like, you know, so that came in and then we did our best of. And I brought you back around because like, I don't know, man, the masses need to hear Yes Ma'am. And like, I get so excited when I hear something like that I absolutely love. And like, I feel like everyone should hear it. Everybody. How did you hook up with Flail Records? How did you get involved with them?
So it's basically just like through friends of friends. And this is like Connor from Taylor Street Corners. He was like really put me on. I was like, fuck that. I don't want a fucking label. Like it's bullshit. Blah blah blah. DIY. Whatever. You know. Like, and then I found out that Scott, who runs Flail, who also plays bass in Bridge City Sinners. I found out that he used to play in Profane Sass, which is like a really older like folk punk band, and they were like some of my really good friends. And when I found that he used to play bass in that band, I was like, show me where to sign. Like I'm fucking down. Like, but yeah, that's like that. Without Flail, like I would have given up years ago. You know, just like just because they help some like they help run the social media. They help book tours and like they like put you on a platform, you know, like, and that's just like shit that I'm not even logged into the band account, like.
I went through there first, and then I saw you commented on something, so I hit you up, and that's how we started this thing. I'm the same way. I had my producer took care of the social media for like 2 years, and then like he ended up going into the hospital, so I had to take it over, and now I'm just like stuck. Now I'm just doing it. I'm like, whatever. Like,
Dude, somebody's got to do it. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Because you have to fucking be like online.
Yeah, because I tried. Before he signed on, I just stopped doing it, and I was all of a sudden no one was listening to the podcast anymore. I'm like, wow, this shit's really like important.
I'm so fucking thankful. Like Joseph, our banjo player, he's like my manager as well, but. I mean, he gets paid to do that kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
Like, but I'm so thankful because, like, he's almost as weird as I am. So it's like the shit that he posts, I think it's fucking hilarious. Like, people are like, I was just like, confusion is key. Like, don't be like, hey, what's up, guys? You got our new song? Like, let's be weird and funny, you know? So it's like,
yeah.
I remember he was like posting random shit. It was like Zimbabwe Railways. Like, we got like. Sponsored by them, which is a total joke, but if you know us, like then you know it's a joke. But I was get messages from my friends who are like, dude, I think your band account got hacked. Like they're just posting the weirdest shit. I was like, no, that's kind of just like our sense of humor. It might not be good, but we think it's funny. So like,
yeah. I just post like, so for the record club, I just post a picture of my dog, and I'm like, my dog says she needs more food, so buy records. Like,
fuck yeah, exactly.
You know, like I don't like it, but sometimes that shit like it works. You know what I mean? Like people are like, okay, this guy's posting pictures of an adorable dog. Let's go see what his record club is. You know?
Yeah, dogs and cats. They get anybody.
Yeah. They run the internet.
Yeah, dude. You just fucking YouTube funny cat videos. I'm fucking busy for like 6 hours. You know?
No doubt, no doubt. Oh man, so you got your band got nominated, or did you get nominated or considered? What's the difference between that? Do you know, for like a Grammy or something? Was that?
I don't even. I don't know what that means.
I know, yeah.
They told, like, I remember Scott sent me a message. I think you have to, like, there's some sort of, like, sign up, and then they pick, like, but I mean, they also pick, like, 10,000 nominations are considered or whatever, so it's not like, I don't know. When Scott sent me that message, I was like, cool. I don't know what that means. And
right.
Into the conversation, but it was just like,
you know what it is? It's just, hey, it's just cool to be on the bill, right? Like it's like if you're on a cool flyer, let's go.
Yeah, dude, I got to send that to my mom. I was like, hey, Mom, this doesn't mean anything, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah. It's like being on a good. It's like being on a good show. That's all.
Yeah. It was fucking sweet. I was just like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, but that's rad. Yeah, I'm about it.
Yeah. Let's talk about how many people, how many dogs a little bit. Like I said, this was my introduction to you, and I'm like, I'm in. Is this like when you wrote these songs, are these just like a collection, or were you like writing with a specific like theme or a story? Not so much like a concept, but like an idea, Yes.
It was a little bit of everything. I mean, it's mostly like, I would say 80% of the record was like, we had like 6 days in the studio or whatever time amount we had. Like, I think 80% of the record was written in the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a few songs where I actually wrote lyrics, but a lot of it's just like kind of freestyle and shit, which is like I'm not like super proud of, but like it's just funnier and easier that way. But I mean, because there's probably some made up words on that album, like that.
Oh yeah.
In there, so yeah. Alan is saying yes. There definitely is made up words on that.
Yeah.
But we did write some lyrics, but there wasn't really like a concept or anything. Like the album wasn't named what it was until like months after it was finished or whatever.
Yeah. Because I mean, it just has, like I said, like, the whole album has that vibe that I was taught, like that just that like mischief and sinister kind of vibe to it, So that's why I ask that, and like it fits, like, and don't be like you're not proud that like a lot of it was just spitballing in there, because like if that works, like, and it did work, you know what I mean? So. Yeah.
No, like, I'm stoked about it. I just think like from like a professional writer or something, they're like, that's not how you're supposed to do that. But I'm like, I fucking love that we just go in there and I'm like, just fucking.
You know what professional writers do? They don't have fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the sinister mischief vibe. Like, yeah, I mean, we're actually about that life, and we're in the studio like doing shit. Like so, like maybe like but like Joseph helped me, the banjo player. He helped me with some of the lyrics and stuff, and like basically was just like, and he's just constantly joking about what the next line should be.
Yeah.
And like, if it's funny enough, that's it. Like, he was like, dude, I was just kidding. I was like, yeah, but I'd rather do that.
Yeah. No, right on. Let's see. There was a song. So is G Burns a thing?
Bruh, I knew this was coming because.
Oh no.
No. It's fine. It's just I just don't know the answer to it because I just did another podcast. Somebody asked me about it.
Oh yeah.
But I just don't. It's actually like an old traditional song, like from like the early 20s, like blues song. But it's like I don't know who the fucking G Burns is, but if I had to guess, it's just kind of like poking fun at religion a little bit. Like it's like this like folklore person that didn't actually exist. Like
yeah.
But I honestly don't know like the real origin story to it. But it's like if you do get a chance to hear the original, it's fucking phenomenal. It's like old blues, but there's like this huge like church kind of choir, like just like sound to it. But G Burns by Pork Chop and some other artist, I can't remember their name, but if you find the original, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. I don't know, because when I was listening to it, and like because of like I don't know, because of some of the other songs too, like I thought of G Burns as like some kind of like New Orleans, like Louisiana, like swamp creature.
Right.
Does that fit?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, actually.
Yeah. We'll go with that. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's better than what I thought. So, I'm stealing that.
Yeah, do it, please do. yeah. Everything from the album, like every song, it just hits for me. And like the album art, I feel like I've been in a place that looked just like that. With a plate just like that. Dude,
the night before that. Actually, I'm not gonna get about that, but yeah. But like, it wasn't like we
that one for
really
afterwards.
The room much. Like, it kind of looked like that already. I mean, that wasn't real cocaine either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because like I every time I look at it, there's something new. Like I never even realized there was someone on the floor until recently. I was like, oh shit, there's a person there.
I love covers like that too, where you always like find something new every time you look at it.
Yeah, for sure. So let's kind of so the album you basically you did it. You kind of just got together with everybody and play, fiddled it out with no pun intended there. But I mean, how's the reception been for it? I feel like, as much as I like it, I feel like it's got to be, it's probably done pretty well,
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Things are, yeah. I think the new album probably has a lot to do with it, but I think like just Joseph and people working and having an online presence and like, because we never did that. Like,
yeah.
Ever. Like, I mean, we got pretty like.
Well, I mean, it worked. That's how I found you, right? So it's
I think, shit's like really popping off now harder than it ever has, but that's just because people are getting fucking good at the internet and we're like, actually, everybody else is trying. And I'm just, all I gotta do is show up, which is great, but.
Just pull up in the truck.
Yeah, but it's being perceived well, yeah. I mean, I'm like really stoked about it, and there's some heavy hitters on there like Lightning Luke, from Lightning Luke and Bridge City Sinners, and Clyde, who plays in Bridge City Sinners, Joseph that played Black Death All Stars, Bob that plays the Holy Locust. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but
I found that band recently too. I really like their album.
They're the best band in the world, dude.
Oh man,
and I mean that has a lot to do with the fact that they're like my favorite fucking people on the planet.
Yeah.
Their new record is fucking.
I picked it up. I think I picked it up when I got yours. So yeah. I just recently they just reissued Runaway and yet Bless This Mess, so I grabbed those on vinyl too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I really like Runaway. It's funny because like this, I feel like it all sounds like Yes Ma'am, but I really feel like How Many People, How Many Dogs kind of sounds like it's a little bit darker of a record, like I said, the Mischief and all that shit. I feel like than like Runaway or Bless This Mess,
Yeah, well, I think like any word that comes out of my mouth, that should happen, or like,
right? Yeah.
And there's like little hidden like, if you know about bad shit, then you understand it. But there's like little hidden messages and stuff. Like I'm not, Bad Dog Blues is not about dogs. It's about
right.
Dogs.
Right. Yeah.
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 But hey, but look, we came a long way. Like,
Yeah. What else? What else can we do but share our experiences, man?
Yeah.
So, no, man, it's like congrats on an awesome album. It's a lot of fun listening to it, and it's a lot of fun letting people hear it. I hope at some point we get you up here in New England, because I would love. I know, like, so you did a leg of the Bridge City Sinners tour, and like I thought you were coming through with them, and I was like, oh, and then you weren't on the for the New England show, so I was like, damn.
It's very confusing with that too. Like I got a lot of messages because it's like bands coming in and out of that tour.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, oh, like you weren't at the New York show, and I was like, I don't even know where I am right now. I don't know where we're going, but like if you look at the tour poster really closely, which is it is confusing though, right? Like
yeah. So it was a little bit. I once you figure it out, like you look for the little symbols there.
Yeah. Which is fucking like decoding like the fucking Da Vinci Code, dude. It's like there's got to be a better way to do this.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like 12 bands hopping in and out. It's like, oh, they're the star, and you're like fucking like trying to look all close. It's like, just make another flyer, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I know, like when we first talked out, you know, you were in the middle of a tour. That's why I was like, when you're all set. But then I was like, oh man, he's going back out in like a week. Let's try to nail something down as soon as possible. Tell me a little bit like about just the life, like, you know, the life, like you just want to travel. You're just traveling and you're doing your thing. And like, I mean, you know, it's gotta be like, for me, it was definitely, I felt like, I don't know. I guess I read Kerouac once and I was like, yeah, you know, if I own a rug, I own too much. Now I own way too much. Yeah. You know, I'm 43 and I'm like, fuck, where did I get all this shit? You know what I mean? Like, but I always lived by like this simple rule that like I could just get rid of everything I had and just go. And I had that freedom and I never felt that anchor. And now like I'm older and I kind of feel that anchor. And like part of me is like, I'm okay with it. But part of me is like, you could just leave. You take your dog and go, you know? So like, kind of tell me like, what is it for you? Like to be able to just have that freedom all the time?
I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good and bad. I mean, I prefer it more over like, you know, like my friend's house, like there's like pictures that are framed. Like that would be cool to have some shit, you know, like I don't, everything I own is in my truck, which is like not much.
Yeah.
Which is also a really good feeling, but yeah, getting older is like, man, I wish I had like a fucking house with like shelves and stuff, you know, like, because I mean, I'm definitely like, I'm getting pretty tired, but yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And just like having friends everywhere I go, it's like, it's not just about, it's so far from the music is why I travel. It's just like seeing stuff and seeing friends all over the country and the world and just like meeting new people. Like just the run we did in Argentina not too long ago, like that was just like, I was like, this is like why I do this, you know? It's like, and I always have fun no matter where we go, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it outweighs the bad stuff when like, you know, you just get to constantly tour and like get paid to travel. Like that's, you know, not like a lot or anything, but like I'm surviving. So
right, yeah. So yeah, and like for me, it was just like, that's just it. Like, so I have shit on the walls here, right? We moved around a lot when I was a little kid, and like we stayed in like the same town or the same two towns, but like when my mother and her husband, when her and my stepfather bought a house, like I was like, I don't know, probably like 13 or so. So like it never felt like home. So like when I started moving out and I lived places, like I never hung shit on the walls because I just didn't feel like home. You know what I mean? Right. This is so like when I found this place the first time, I actually lived here twice. So I lived here from 2016 to 2018, and then I left and went to Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and then I ended up coming back to the same goddamn apartment. Yeah. So I was like, all right, this might be home. You know what I mean? Home. Yeah, okay. So like I hang things on the wall. I remember when I lived in Pittsburgh, I lived in one. I always wanted like I'm gonna live in like one of those condos where people come and they take care of your shit for you. I hated it, dude. It was like you know what got me? There was door handles instead of doorknobs. I felt fucking institutionalized. Like I was like this. I had like a balcony, but then I only had one window other than that balcony. I'm like, this sucks. This is fucking terrible, you know? So like the maintenance guys would come in, they must have thought I was psycho because you could see my patch of fucking carpet you could see like the vacuum lines, like all like fucking, and there was no art on the walls. You know what I mean? Like, like they must have thought like I was a fucking serial killer or some shit. But I just like, to me, like I just being like having that freedom and not being anchored down was always like a fucking like, I just felt so good about it. You know what I mean? And I still don't, I mean, all I have here is stuff. I don't care. It's just stuff like, but like I have a job and I'm just like, oh man, like, you know, I don't want to conform that part of me, you know what I'm saying? Like that mischief in me, like don't conform and, you know, but it's tough. It's tough as I got older, and I'm like, so I don't know. That's why I see people out there touring nonstop, and I'm like, yes, just do that. Just keep doing that. You know, and it seems like you got a good thing going with it. So, you know,
I absolutely love it. But yeah, I mean, I do miss having a spot and like stuff. But yeah, even when I did though, like my bed was a pool table and shit. Like
That's awesome.
It's just like whatever trash I'd find on the side of the road was like my dresser or whatever.
Yeah. That's kind of how. It's
all garbage anyways or whatever.
I didn't buy my first bed until like I think it was like 2016. You know what I mean? I just I think I had like a blow up mattress at one point, and I was like, all right, this is getting a little uncomfortable. You know?
Whatever I can find on the side of the road, just be like, I fucking hope this doesn't have bed bugs. Don't have bed bugs. Don't have bed bugs.
Hopefully you found a vacuum up the road too for it. You know, no doubt, man, no doubt. So I know you got stuff going on coming up. Do you want to you want to give us any shows or anything do you know of?
Yeah. So I'm actually going to Quebec. February 3rd and February 4th we got a show.
You're breaking your snow rule, you know.
I fucking know, dude. I fucking know. I do not have the right gear.
Did you see my eyes light up when you said that? I was like, wait a minute.
I'm literally gonna fucking die up there. But
yeah. Well, I'm sorry. What was the date? February.
So it's February 4th, but everything's also in French, so I don't know where the fuck we're playing, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know February 8th we're playing at the Hop Station, which is like an old railroad junction like building that they redid and turned into this like brewery, and it's like one of my favorite bars in the world. That's a Hop Station in Quaticook, Quebec, which is like an hour north of Burlington, Vermont. Mm-hmm. And then there's a couple shows in Montreal. Like I said, they're all in French, so I don't fucking know where they are or anything.
Yeah.
And then we're doing a tour from New Orleans out west to like LA, and then up the West Coast, and then through the Midwest down back to New Orleans with Holy Locust, and that's
nice.
That's like March to the end of April.
Wow, good one. That's a good run.
Yeah, it's like a little over a month, I think. Yeah, with Holy Locust, which is gonna be fucking awesome because basically it's just them plus me, and then Holy Locust is gonna back me up while we're playing. Mm-hmm. It's like the old folk punk trick is like just adding one more person and then getting paid for two bands, you know? It's like,
yes.
Those are also like my favorite people in the world, so I'm like really looking forward to that tour.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, what do I have to do to get you on the East Coast to get up here?
So we're gonna be there. I just started working with a new booker. This guy Josh from Tone Deaf, and he's booking us stuff. There's like some stuff I can't really talk about.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be in the Northeast and that in New England area in August, September. Which one's first? September, August, September. So what's after September? October. Yeah, I think like late September. August, September, late September, October-ish. We're gonna be in the Northeast,
cool,
with some fucking really big heavy hitter bands. So
nice.
That's like the area that I know we're gonna be in. I don't know the exact dates, but we're definitely playing. I imagine we're playing at least Boston, if not somewhere close to you. So
yeah, good, because I need to check you out. I got to see this live because the energy I get just from the studio stuff, like. I'm gonna go.
I think our live shows is like that's the way how it should be seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go nuts with it. I bet I'm gonna, like I said, that feral dog in me is gonna.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's fucking party. I'm gonna get you in so much fucking trouble.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. I've already been there. I'm sure. You know,
Yeah.
we'll trade those stories when we see each other in person, right?
Yeah. Because my mom's gonna see this. I can't really get into too much detail, you know?
No doubt.
You said you're in Worcester?
Worcester, yeah. I live right outside of Worcester. I live in between Providence, Rhode Island, and Worcester. I live in this like little, like it's like it used to be like a mill town, and it's like farming too. So I live in like this little ass town, and then like, but everything is right there if I need it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So when I was in Tennessee, I was in Lawrence County, which is like, I thought it was going to be like a lot more populated than what it was, because like it was what did they say it was? It was like the biggest city between Chattanooga and Memphis, and I was like, cool, but I got there like land wise, it was definitely huge, but like there was like fucking like 8,000 people there. I'm like,
yeah,
in the whole county. I'm like, what the fuck? So I like being on the outskirts, you know what I mean? Like close enough, but far enough away that I can do my own thing, and you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I want to be in between like two major cities. Like when I get the money and 10 years from now and buy some land. Yeah, I'm like, I want to be an hour out but
Yeah.
like not too far away from shows and stuff like that. When it's coming up, but Worcester is that where there's like a statue of like this fat
turtle?
guy like humping a turtle downtown?
A little boy.
Okay, I remember something like that, and I was like, "Is that?" You know what I mean? Like
It's a very weird. It's a very yeah.
In my mind, it's like,
I love that little Matt from Yes Ma'am. That's how he remembers Worcester is the Turtle Boy statue. Yes,
yeah.
yes, that is there.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And I don't know. They're like people try to defend what's going on, but the turtle's got an O face. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like-
Okay. So it's not. I'm not just a sick fuck. Like
No, dude. That statue's that dude's plowing that sea turtle. You know?
Yeah, he's plowing.
And there's no ocean here, so I don't know why. Why he's got that sea turtle in the middle of Worcester? You know what I mean?
That's fucking awesome.
I'll give you a funny story. That statue disappeared for like 15 years and just showed up randomly back in the spot.
Whoa, that's fucking dope, dude.
That's like the long con. Like that's awesome. Whoever pulled that one was good. You know,
Dude.
no one knew who took it, and then no one knew who put it back. It just showed up one day.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I love that, dude. I can't wait to do a bump off the turtle when I get there. Man. I'm not gonna steal it, I promise, but I'll just borrow it for a minute.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's fine. Hey, we're gonna close out in a minute, but just give me a few minutes after we close out. All right.
I got you.
Yeah. Matt, where can people find Yes Ma'am? Where can they listen to your music, buy your records, find your manager on social media who runs the account, all that stuff?
Yeah, so I think the best. So my number is. I'm just kidding. Actually, my number is on Bless This Mess, track 12. If anybody wants to hit me up, but I guess through flailrecords.com you can get all the merch and check out all the other bands on Flail. All the bands are fucking great. Yes Ma'am the band on Instagram, and you can stream the music on everything, Spotify, Bandcamp, and YouTube or whatever. And then so through the Yes Ma'am Instagram, it's probably, and we have Facebook also, but I think we're most active on the Instagram, and that'll be posting like our tour dates and stuff like that, because we're about to announce the Holy Locust dates for New Orleans to the West Coast and back. So the next few days we'll be posting that. Other than that, flailrecords.com, that would be probably the best for emails or to get merch or to hear music. That's probably the best spot to check out.
Right on. Listen, you put out another album. Let's do this again, man. I had fun. And if you do come out to New England, let's have some fun, dude.
Dude. I'll see you this summer. For sure.
All right, cool, man. I appreciate you doing this, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for having me. It's fucking rad.
All right, and that's the show. I want to thank Little Matt again for being today's guest on the Struggling Artist Podcast. In the show notes, you will find all links to Yes Ma'am. Thank you to Chris Chavez, Jeff Bousquet, and Aria Rad for being part of the Struggling Artist team. Follow them over on Instagram. Aria is at Coffin Salesman. Jeff is at JRB Image. And Chris is at 716 The Sound. Thank you to the sponsors of the podcast, StatelineRecords.com, for Mark always being part of the sponsors of he's like our top sponsor. Go check out what he's got in stock over there at StatelineRecords.com. Thank you to the band Losers Circle for allowing us to use their song The Great Illusion of Time off of their album Took Long Enough. You will always find a link, whether it's in our link tree or on our website, to Loser Circle's Bandcamp. If you haven't picked up that album already, go do it, please, for the love of God. Everybody over at Patreon helping us out over there. Thank you so much to the patrons. If you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/podcast TSA and check out what we have over there. The fees are inexpensive. It goes from free to right now we're up to, I think it's like a $5 tier. There's going to be an expensive one coming. I just have to figure out how to make it work. Thank you to everybody who listens to the podcast, watches the podcast, tells people to hit us up about coming on the podcast, etc., etc. That's right. You can watch the podcast. I don't know who would want to, but you can go to YouTube and type in the Struggling Artist Podcast, and our episodes are up over there, as well as clips and everything else. If you want to give us a call and leave a voicemail or a text message, you can call or text 774-570-1552. That's a Struggling Artist hotline. We love when we get messages over there. Again, 774-570-1552. All right, and it's time to get out of here. We have a song to play. That's right. Little Matt was kind enough to give us a song off of Yes Ma'am's album, How Many People, How Many Dogs. The song is called Bad Dog Blues. Until next week, take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you then.
Well, when I get low, when I get the itch, I go to the corner, go get my fix. Died 8 times, baby, it ain't shit. I make Houdini look like a bitch. Yeah, I got them bad dog blues. Got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. Well, it feels so good and she treat me right. Well, the preacher come, but I don't see the light. Rev you up and she rub you down. You can find that dog all over town. Yeah, I got them bad dog blues. Got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. All right, baby. Make it sound good. Ride me, baby, like a train on track. When I leave a yard and I come right back. Got long black hair, big blue eyes. On a makeup like man, get circumcised. Yeah, I got them bad dog blues. Got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. Woman with nowhere to roam. Let me head in a bed till the sun come on. And my guitar, baby, show me the spot. I'ma leave this town with a governor's watch. Yeah, I got them bad dog blues. Got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. All right, baby, give me that dirty mic now. Find out that motherfucking chili, baby. I got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. I shook my head, not tonight, baby, wanna go to bed. Devil's tail in my hand, $200 these days will kill a man. Yeah, I got them bad dog blues. Got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. Well, don't worry, baby, these days are clean. Fucking the blues, the only thing I fiend. This here, baby, gonna make me sick. Won't you come on over and sit on my couch? I got them bad dog blues. Got them bad dog blues. I got them bad dog blues. That's not going